So this legislation is about our kids, our children. For those of us who are parents in this body, there is nothing else that could be more important. Now, in my district, I have 2 independent school systems, and I have 2 county school systems, and I trust them. I do. I have a lot of faith in the school boards at all of the districts in my legislative district. And so far, they have made the tough decisions, and they've done them right. But I'm scared to death for some of the kids in these other districts. I'm scared that the leaders are listening too much to politics or to the very vocal minority in their districts, or even to people who are threatening them. We have school boards in this state who are afraid to meet in person because they've been threatened. Some of them don't want this power, by the way, and would much rather the governor be able to make the decisions for them. So I'm a parent. Even more than that, I'm a sports mom. I've been a sports mom every second since my 20-year-old son turned 4 and signed up for soccer for the first time. My kids have played every sport there is, and it means the world to them. It means the world to me. And because of this pandemic, my son didn't get to enjoy his senior year, all the joys that come with the graduation, prom, spring break, all of those things. My daughter is a senior now, and she's been operating under a pandemic since the middle of her sophomore year. It's been awful. And now she's facing all of those losses that my son had a couple of years ago, potentially losing all of the things that are enjoyable about a high school experience. Soccer means the absolute world to her, and she's worried sick about not being able to play soccer this year or not be able to get all their games in. She's on the golf team. Worried sick about all of those things and not getting to do them. But I don't think the way to make sure they get to do them is to disregard their safety, to tell them that they don't have to protect themselves from a contagious disease, to take away one of our tools that's protected them, and that's masking. And of all the things that my kids have lost, that your all's kids have lost, the experiences, the wonderful joys of high school, there are parents in this state whose children are sick. There's a family in Shelby County this week who is burying their son Saturday. That's nothing like the losses we've experienced. It can't compare. It's the unimaginable for every parent. Some kids are more susceptible than others. We still don't know why. And all kids deserve to get to go to school. And if masking protects those that are handicapped, we need to think about them. There are school administrators, beloved coaches in this state, even a classified school employee in my district, who've died. We've lost them forever due to this disease. And we have to protect them. Since we took over the power, it's our job. We have to protect them. They're scared. Their schools are overrun. Half of them have had to shut down already. And I do think that we need to listen to parents. I do. I'm a parent. But I also think that we need to listen to our teachers. They're one of our state's biggest employers, our school systems. And local economies are driven by teacher salaries and the money spent by them in our school systems, in our economic systems. They care for our kids when we're not there, and they love them like their own. And they're scared. I do think that we have to listen to parents, to everyone that we're in charge of representing. But we have to balance the responsibility of keeping people safe with protecting their rights and with something that's a mere inconvenience. I don't know of a time that when we're caring for our own children that we would ever choose convenience over their safety. We're dealing with the third leading cause of death all of a sudden in this country. And unlike heart disease and cancer, this is largely preventable, and it's contagious. We have to give our school systems the ability to protect themselves from a contagious disease. There are several amendments that would have made this better for our schools, but due to the process that we've chosen to go through in this body this week, they didn't even get to be heard. For those who don't know, when you file an amendment to a bill, you have to do it to the version of the bill that's getting heard. So when we do a committee sub, you have to scramble around and file that again. And then when we substitute a Senate bill for the House bill, you have to scramble around and try to do that again. It's almost always ruled out of order for you to be able to suspend the rules, to hear those amendments. So all of those ideas
relevance loading
didn't get heard. The eyes of the rest of the country are on us. We went from a model of how states could be handling the pandemic a year ago to being one of the examples of how it shouldn't be handled now that the Delta variant came around. We didn't want our businesses closed. We didn't want our schools closed. And we know what to do to keep that from happening, yet we're not doing it. Our kids' eyes are upon us. They learn their values from us. And kindness is still a virtue in this country that's to be valued. There was a woman who came up to me at the nail salon yesterday, and she told me that she knew that child who died in Shelby County and that she was going to the funeral. And she told me that she's a teacher in another county, and she couldn't finish talking to me for crying about how scared she is to go to work and how scared she is for our kids. Knowing I'd be voting on this when we came back to work today, I felt that weight so heavily for her, for the family who lost that child. And this is a tough vote for me. Many people in my district feel like their personal freedoms are being infringed upon, and I hear that. I'm very cognizant of the fact that we have a duty to balance those rights. And I think this bill does do some good things. But I think we're dropping the ball. As a sports mom, I've spent as much time in a concession stand as I have practicing law. Seen lots of balls dropped. I hate to see that we appear to be doing it. And if this surge continues, I fear that we are going to regret that we took on this responsibility and then dropped the ball. I think that we are likely to be right back here before January, trying to fix the mistakes that we're making. I wish we could be braver.
Chair recognizes the lady from Jefferson 38.